Social learning theory is a theory in psychology that is based in cognitive psychology and behavioral psychology. It states that learning is based on responses to environmental stimuli as well as psychological factors. There are four main components to learning, as laid out by its founder, Albert Bandura. The first is observation, which is when the learner observes a behavior or stimulus. Next is retention, which involves one's cognition and remembering the observed behavior. Following retention is reproduction of the observed behavior, which can only occur if the learner has the necessary skills to imitate the behavior that they observed. Finally, motivation looks at the importance of proper modeling of the observable behavior by a person of authority and the possible reward for proper reproduction of the behavior. The famous Bobo doll experiment carried out by Albert Bandura in the 1960s sought to investigate this theory and determine if social behaviors are learned through observation and imitation. Bandura set up an experiment in which children would observe an adult playing in a room filled with toys who would model a certain behavior. The children were then sent to the same room individually and observed while playing with the toys. The children were split into three groups: an aggressive group, a non-aggressive group, and a control group. Children in the aggressive group observed an adult playing with the Bobo doll in an aggressive manner. The adult would model behaviors such as hitting the doll with a bat, punching the doll repeatedly, or throwing it into the air while making sounds similar to that of an explosion. Children in the non-aggressive group were shown pro-social play with an adult playing with Tinker toys, while the control group were shown nothing prior to entering the playroom. At the end of the experiment, those children in the aggressive group who were exposed to aggressive behaviors prior to play were far more likely to imitate those same behaviors in play. In addition, they were also more likely to exhibit new aggressive behaviors that were not modeled, such as throwing darts at the Bobo doll. In this experiment, it was also found that the boys were more likely to imitate physically aggressive acts than girls, though when it came to verbal aggression, there was little difference between the two genders. While the experiment has been widely criticized today by psychologists for its questionable ethics towards its participants and external validity, it has also been the basis of many social issues today, such as the effect exposure to violent media may or may not have on children. In the end, Bandura concluded that children learn social behaviors through the process of observational learning.